Authorities say the potentially more transmissible Omicron COVID-19 variant has not been detected in the country. Nearly 10 million COVID-19 jabs were administered across the country during the extended vaccination drive. The camp of Presidential Bongbong Marcos shows the record of his compliance of payment in a tax case. And the Philippine vet Samantha Panlilio is competing for the country's first Miss Grand International crown. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department maintains that there is still no Omicron variant case detected in the Philippines. In today's Laging Handa briefing, Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said they have not observed any clustering of COVID-19 cases, a sign of the emergence of a variant. Vergeres added that they are now monitoring individuals who traveled to the country from areas where there have been Omicron variant cases.
It's hard to say now, no? Mahirap po tayo magbigay ng mga ganitong babala na natatakot po ang mga tao. Wala pa naman ho tayong ebidensya. Yes, this variant has a lot of mutations na kailangan po cautious tayo. But hindi po natin kailangan magpanik at matakot. Kailangan lang po sumunod tayo sa ating mga safety protocols.
But while there is still no Omicron variant case detected in the country yet, Vergeres urged the public to remain vigilant, strictly comply to minimum health protocols, and get vaccinated against COVID-19. For one, she said companies and organizations are advised to still go virtual for Christmas parties to avoid the spread of the virus.
Tayo po ay nagpapaalala pa rin sa ating mga kababayan, the virus is still here. Let's continue to practice the safety protocols. Kung mag-Christmas party po tayo, baka maaari virtual parties muna. Let's have that sacrifice first para po sa kapakanan ng ating pamilya at sa kapakanan po ng buong sambayan ng Pilipino.
The Philippine Genome Center is expanding its laboratories in Visayas and Mindanao, with operations expected to start by January. PGC Executive Director Cynthia Saloma said employees for additional sites have already undergone training and just waiting for the arrival of the equipment. The government earlier approved a budget of over 200 million pesos for the expansion. Currently, all genomic sequencing to detect COVID-19 variants in samples is done at the center's main laboratory in UP Diliman. Nearly 10 million COVID-19 shots were administered during the government's extended national vaccination drive. Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said around 8 million of the jabs were used during the first 3 days of the campaign, which was then followed by another 1.9 million doses in the next 2 days. It is not clear how many of those doses were part of the primary series or were booster shots. Vergeres called the inoculation turnout a huge success. The health official says they intend to hold another 3-day mass vaccination drive by mid-December. Now, Pfizer executive says he expects their COVID-19 shot to hold up against the Omicron variant. Let's get more details in this Bloomberg report.
We will certainly learn about in the next 2 to 3 weeks if we get indication that the vaccine is working. Overall, we are doing 2 experiments. Number 1 is certainly that we used sera from people vaccinated with our vaccine and see if they can neutralize the virus. And second, we are screening on a global basis the effectiveness data to see if there are breakthrough cases.
How much of a change in effectiveness for Omicron is it worth it for people to wait and switch over to a new one that's tailored towards Omicron? Like, is it 10% difference in effectiveness, or what is that kind of decision process based on?
Yeah, it's not worth to wait. I think it's important that we continue with the booster program as there are recommendations in all countries. We don't expect that there will be a significant drop in effectiveness, but again, this is speculation. We will check this. We will have the data in the next couple of weeks. When you talk about booster programs, there are three important observations with booster program. Number one is that you strengthen the immune response. And number two is you also increase the breadth of coverage. That means when you booster, you get a better protection against new variants. That's certainly something we will also observe with Omicron.
We heard from Moderna, they were talking about a material drop in effectiveness. Obviously, you can't speak for them, but I just want to confirm you don't see it as likely that there will be a material drop in the effectiveness of your vaccine.
Likelihood is speculation, and I think because we know how difficult it is to speculate about the consequences, and I think it's dangerous to speculate and I know that this has been done in many countries. I think we should do the experiments as rapidly as we can do it, and then in a very few weeks we are knowing that how severe this disease is. If this variant is really an escape variant and takes over the place Delta has at the moment, the unfortunate place of Delta, and then we have to do the experiments, and we will have the data very soon.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Here are the recent developments in Philippine politics. Contrary to what court records show, the camp of presidential aspirant Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. claims that the former senator has already paid his tax liabilities in 2001. Recall that the Court of Appeals in 1997 ruled to convict Marcos Jr. of non-filing of income tax returns. Marcos Jr.'s camp released a photo of a land bank receipt supposedly showing a payment of more than 67,000 pesos in December 27, 2001. Vice President Leni Robredo and her running mate, Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, joined the Bike for Leni event in Iloilo. There, the tandem was welcomed with thousands of supporters, bands, and performers. Recall that Robredo won by a wide margin in the province during the 2019 vice presidential race. And Presidential aspirant Senator Manny Pacquiao launched today his own esports group called Team Pacquiao GG. Pacquiao explained that the electronic gaming industry offers not only entertainment but also business opportunities. He said he hopes the Philippines could establish its presence in the international esports scene currently dominated by the US, South Korea, Japan, and China.
Thank you, San, for being here.
Philippine vet Samantha Panlilio is now vying to be the first Filipina to win the Miss Grand International title. Now, during the preliminaries, Panlilio stunned the MGI crowd as she dazzled in her sultry boat-inspired evening gown. Her gown featured a bodice fully encrusted with Caribbean blue opal rhinestones, glass beads, and Swarovski crystals. Now, the beauty queen also wowed the audience with her butterfly-inspired national costume. The pageant finals is now being held in Bangkok, Thailand. Now, in some light news, an island in Quezon province shines as residents create Christmas decors out of recycled materials. Jenny Dongan has a story.
With just a few weeks until Christmas, this island in the province of Quezon lit up its lanterns and paroles, giving hope as well as breathing space for the people amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Residents of the island showcased their creativity in making colorful recycled Christmas decorations. Used face shields were used to make Christmas lanterns, while used plastic bottles and caps were collected from the shoreline and crafted out as lanterns. Meanwhile, these lampshades made from coconut husk and plastic materials also stole the show. According to Quezon Town Mayor Maria Caridad Clasio, despite the ongoing pandemic, the LG wants to instill to its community the reason behind the season, remind people of hope.
Ito po ay pagbibigay ng pag-asa sa atin pong mga kababayan na bagaman po tayo ay nasa gitna ng pandemya at nahaharap po tayo sa panibago na namang hamon dun po sa bagong variant, ay pagtitingnan po natin itong mga ilaw na ito, nagbibigay po tayo ng kasiyahan ng pag-asa na sa mga darating pong panahon ay mawawala na po ang ating mga takip sa ating mukha.
But many houses on the island still don't have Christmas decorations, as many residents chose not to put even just one parole. Like Jocelyn's family, she brought her children here just to see the colorful lights.
Wala, kasi tabing dagat kami. Hindi na kami nag-Christmas light kasi kinakalawang din. Napunta na lang kami. Minsan pag may nakikita kami, picture na lang sa mga ibang bahay. Oo, titignan na lang yung mga may parol.
But the spirit of giving comes alive this Christmas. A family in Alabat Island have put up a tunnel of lights for the residents.
This year, since mahirap pong tumawid gawa nga po ng COVID, instead of Alabatins going somewhere na may tunnel of lights, kami na po yung nagdala dito para mabawasan po yung stress at makapagsaya po ang mga Alabatin dito sa isla.
Eldon says the tunnel cost more than 500,000 pesos, but what matters more is the happiness it brought to the residents.
Sobrang worth it po. Kung yung hindi wala po kasi talagang katumbas yung pera pagdating sa kasiyahan ng mga tao.
Despite being hidden in face masks, residents were happy as seen in their eyes, especially now that their island logs 0 active COVID cases. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, VR1 News.
For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.